Before I start off with my speech, I would like to share a short story with you all. In grade 7, I had this one classmate who just seemed perfect in all ways. She was organized, she was punctual, and she always scored the top marks. Here's the catch. Never once have I seen her miss a single deadline. Yes, you heard that right. She has never missed a deadline. When I was there in the staff room getting scolded for submitting my work late, she was there checking things off of her flawless to-do list. I couldn't help but admire her ability to stay on top of everything. I couldn't resist but ask, "Hey, how do you do all that?" And one day, I did. Then she gave me a bunch of tips to follow on how to be organized, and I started following them. And soon enough, I became a Miss Perfect myself. But you might be wondering, what were those tips? Well, that is not the focus of my speech today. The real question here is what drove me to seek her guidance? What was that strong desire in me to match or even surpass her level of organization? What was that urge in me that pushed me to be a better self? The answer might surprise you. It's envy. Envy, often misunderstood as a purely negative emotion, has its own plus points. It inspires us to succeed in life. When we see someone else's achievement, let's admit it, it sparks a fire within us to prove ourselves better than that. Today, we will explore how envy, when harnessed positively, becomes the driving force behind progress. Before we dive deeper, it's important to clarify a common misunderstanding in this topic, the difference between jealousy and envy. These two terms have completely different meanings, but are often misunderstood and used interchangeably. Envy, also referred to as benign envy, is desiring or admiring something that someone else has. It's about positive comparison that helps growth. Jealousy, on the other hand, involves insecurity and fear that someone else's success threatens what you have. Also known as malicious envy, jealousy can harm the mental health and breed negativity, while envy can motivate us to improve. Today, my speech's focus is going to be on envy, the positive force that drives progress. So, how does envy fuel progress in the first place? From a psychological perspective, envy's influence on the human behavior is profound. According to the social comparison theory introduced by Leon Festinger in 1954, and we humans have an immediate natural instinct to compare ourselves with others. Neuroscience supports this fact as well. Our brain releases dopamine, the reward chemical, when we outperform our peers. This biological drive is the reason why envy, when positive, can lead to success. Let's look at the latest examples of envy-driven progress. The space race. During the time period, the USA and USSR were locked in fierce competition. The USSR achieved incredible milestones like launching the first satellite, sending the first human to space, and inventing the first rocket equation. USA, fueled by competitive spirit, responded with its iconic Apollo 11 moon landing, marking one of history's greatest achievements. Without envy and competition, we wouldn't even have stepped on the moon in the first place. This rivalry did not just benefit space exploration, it led to other breakthroughs as well. For example, the world's first hydrogen bomb was invented during the Cold War time period. Interestingly, after the Cold War ended, and the competition faded, the USA did not leave the low Earth orbit for over 50 years till date. This proves that envy and competition create the perfect environment for progress. How can we forget about the corporate world when we're talking about rivalry and envy, huh? Envy's role in the corporate world is inevitable. For example, let's take the rivalry between Coca-Cola and Pepsi. Also known as the Cola Wars, this rivalry has benefited many fields such as advertisements. They have creative and innovative advertisements like these. In fact, the rivalry between Apple and Samsung resulted in a 30% increase in patent filings. Without envy and competition, the iPhones, iPads, MacBooks, and AirPods we use today might not even exist in the first place. We're not done yet. The list gets bigger. Even in sports, envy drives progress. According to the Journal of Sports Science, athletes with strong rivals improve their performance by 5 to 10%. For example, take the iconic rivalry between Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo in football. The excellence of these players have pushed them to break many world records and elevate the standards of their sports. This showcases how envy cannot just transform individual athletes but entire sports industries. Okay, envy and competition has led to progress in sports, industries, and technology. But how does this affect us, the students? Well, coming to that, envy also plays a pivotal role in education. That at some point, all of us would have felt envious about a peer's academic excellence and worked hard to prove ourselves better than that. According to educational psychology, 65% of students who experience academic envy improvise their grades within a semester. This demonstrates how academic envy results in excellence and progress. In conclusion, envy, when embraced positively, can serve as the catalyst for progress. From historical events like the space race to corporate rivalries, athletic competition, and academic achievements, envy has inspired success. Channeling envy into constructive action can transform it into the fuel that propels us forward in life. To break things up into simpler words, envy plus inspiration equals success, but jealousy plus comparison equals distress. After all, envy, when seen through the lens of inspiration and when embraced not as a flaw, can act as the spark that sets your aspirations ablaze. Thank you.